37 of 40 cars have logged laps so far. You see the fastest at the top of the screen. By Joey Logano and Austin Dillon, who got no practice yesterday. Now, of the 3 cars that have not laid down a practice time, Kyle Busch went out on the track but came back in without completing a lap. Jamie?
Yeah, he brought it right back in. Remember, this is one of those 2 tracks on the NASCAR schedule that he's never won at. This has been a tough place for Kyle Busch to wrap his arms around. This was his radio communication.
If we can square on the left side, I'm going to try to roll over to the right side of being held off, not being able to roll all the way. But then it also is on the splitter down in the rock. I rolled out 100 feet earlier in the qualifying, and it's on the splitter. Things have a really bad shape. They're horrible.
How can this be the same car as yesterday?
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, right.
I know it reminded me what Larry was said. He told Dale one time, is there anything about this car you like?
Well, getting on the splitter into turn 1 is a big problem here. When you're carrying that much speed down in the corner and you brake as hard as you have to slow the car down in the corner in turn 1, and just the way the banking and the transition is there, it really loads up. And plus the crew chiefs and engineers get very aggressive with that front splitter. So it's real easy to get on the splitter. I had a lot of issues with that, especially on lower pressures, tire pressures, on restarts. You got to be careful. The restarts are extremely important here. You need to be able to go down into turn 1 and run any line and be as aggressive as you want to, or you can really find yourself up in the 3rd, 4th lane.
Well, we've talked about driver shifting here, as many as 6 times a lap, 3 down, 3 up. But they have other tuning tools that they can use, and even once a lap, Larry.
Yeah, you think about these 3 corners, they all are different. And the straightaways are long, so you have an opportunity to make adjustment. This is the driver adjustable track bar right there. He can push it up to raise the track bar. He can lower the track bar as well. And the way they do that is this little electric motor on the track bar right there that runs it up and down. There's the track bar. It hooks to the frame right there on the right side. And a lot of times you raise the track bar to free the car up, or you lower the car down to tighten it up. And how the driver knows how much he missed it, this was Joey Logano yesterday in qualifying. You can see right there, he has a digital readout on that digital dash, and that tells him exactly how much he's moved it. And this was during qualifying. Joey Logano qualified 2nd, and he definitely was moving that track bar on these long straightaways.
Now, Jeff, we're hearing that some drivers may want a different track bar setting for turn 3 than turn 1, but you want to risk changing that thing more than once every lap?
Well, qualifying, you could definitely do it, and because of 3 completely unique corners, I think it's a great tool. But in the race, that's asking a lot out of that motor to do that every single lap on different, you would do it almost on every straightaway because all 3 corners being different. Don't get me wrong, there's some that are probably going to try it and do it, but you do risk possibly burning that motor out or causing the fuse to blow.
Yeah, I think here you can get away with moving it quite a bit because these straightaways are so long and the track bar is not under a load so much down the straightaway, and the turns are pretty flat. So you've got a lot of time down the back to make an adjustment if you'd like over the tunnel. Not so much time down the short chute, but then another good opportunity down the front going into turn 1. So I can see the driver maybe moving that thing up or down every now and then just to see if he can help us.
I think the toughest part about that adjustment, so moving that track bar down really helps spin the back of the car, especially as you load it up initially and through the center of the corner. In turn 3, you want it down for the entry. The car is loose, but as you get to the center of the corner, the car starts to tighten up. So in a perfect world, you'd run it down, and then as soon as the car loads up, you want it to race back up. The motor doesn't work like that. It doesn't work under load. It doesn't work that fast.
So we saw Kevin Harvick here downshifting going into turn 1 in contrast to what we saw earlier, where drivers were shifting when they wanted to accelerate up off.
Yeah, and that was all at 202 miles per hour, by the way. Yeah, some drivers will choose to put a blip in there and raise the RPMs to match the speed that they're running, and so they can use that engine to slow the car down. Others, like we saw with Joey Logano, want to simplify it and maybe make it a little more consistent and easier on them for 500, or 400 miles here, and downshift very late.
I'm always, Jamie, go ahead.
Well, you guys mentioned Kevin Harvick. It was interesting. Right before he went to the top of the board, he told his guys, I can't make any corner on this racetrack. So he wasn't happy initially, but he ran a couple more laps, and the team's working on it. And so far, so good. He's P1.
This is another thing that's so unique about Pocono. So he probably went out, maybe the car was hitting the racetrack or something. Just making 2 laps and coming in and the air pressure raising up in those tires, all of a sudden he goes back out, small adjustment, boom, top of the board. I do think that doing the downshift earlier like that, I think there's a little bit of speed there. I think that it is beneficial, but it's risky. I think it could cause you to really lose the back of the car getting in the corner and cause some bigger problems.
Yeah, I just think it's what you're comfortable with. If he's comfortable doing that, it works for him, great. Me, not so much.